after all that, the Warriors come out of it 58-55. They're shooting just under 55%. They have 16 assists already at the half. Likewise for the Spurs, Anderson and Aldridge, each with 14. I don't even want to talk about Golden State here because I don't think there's any question that in most people's minds that they're going to recover and they're going to be fine. Maybe a slight question about the bench, maybe. But for the Spurs, to me, it's remarkable they are where they are, considering their best player and a top 5 NBA player in most people's minds has not been on the floor for the most part here. How are they getting this done? And if Kawhi Leonard is not ready at some point before the playoffs, is this team, how vulnerable are they in the postseason?
Well, if he's not ready for the playoffs, what does it mean for the future of Kawhi Leonard and this franchise? But speaking to the success of the franchise, I think it has to do with establishing the system that they have, Greg Popovich being there for as long as he had. The key guys understand, the Ginobilis and the Tony Parkers and Patty Mills coming off the bench. They understand what Spurs basketball is supposed to be like. And every once in a while they falter, take a couple steps back, because a few of those guys I mentioned have a couple of years on them right now. But Aldridge has had a sensational year for this team, and they win because of the system in San Antonio.
They're just 10-10 over their last 20 games. It really is remarkable they are where they are in the standings.
It's remarkable where they are, and we have to give credit to Pop in that Spurs system. The Spurs way wins out once again. You know, Kawhi hasn't been healthy this year. He's been in and out of the lineup. Spurs are still finding a way to be a top team in the NBA, top team out west. But what it means for them long term, if Kawhi Leonard isn't healthy, that means this team is vulnerable to be knocked out of the playoffs at any time. They could lose in the first round, second round. It doesn't matter. They could go home early because in the playoffs, things slow down. This team already struggles a little bit to score in the half court. They're not a great offensive team. You know, they're probably in the bottom, 7 or 8 teams offensively. The way they're beating people is with their defense. They're one of the better defensive teams in the league. Well, they can hang their hat on their defense, but in the playoffs, if you can't score points, you're going to have some long nights because there are a lot of explosive teams that are out there playing right now. If they got matched up with a team like Denver in a 7-game series, there might be some nights where Denver could just have more firepower than them.
Well, Brendan, what about this? There's still one of the teams that stays with 2 big men as opposed to having that stretch 4 behind the three-point line all the time. You've got Gasol, Aldridge, and Pop is staying with that.
Yeah,
I mean, he had moved Gasol out of that starting lineup.
Right, he's got Bertans starting here lately and Pau coming off the bench, but he will throw both of them out there together. It's an interesting question moving forward, and both these teams are, by the way, buyout candidates for players who become available over the next few days.
Maybe Marco Bellinelli.
Maybe Marco Bellinelli, who would fit in either, and obviously played with the Spurs as well. He was great for them during the postseason.
Hey, man.